So in this video, I want to show how to fetch data from the client side and put it onto the page. Um, so let me start by making a new component. So I want to make a page where you can make a list of cats, and the cats will come from the database, and you'll be able to see it on the page. Okay, so here I'm going to have a simple form. It's going to have a name, the age, the skill, okay. I'm going to go into the, let's see, I'm going to go into here and create a new route for this page. Okay, hang on. So I need to require this. Okay. So this should allow me to render this this component onto the page. Let's see if that worked. Hmm. Okay, it's a spelling error. Let's try that again. Okay. Let's see. Let me make a link to it in the nav. Okay. So click here. Okay, so I can see the form. Maybe make the form a little bit nicer. So I'm wrapping all this inside of a div because this render method has to return only a single tag, and everything has to go inside of that tag. Let's see. Let's try that again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me add a button to submit the form. And okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I need to make a route on the server side. Let's go ahead and create it in our routes directory. So we want to post oops, and we want to get. So the post will be used to create a new cat. The get will be used to get the cats that have been created. Okay. Export this router. We can use it in the server.js file. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and use it here. Namespace to cat. Okay, so I also want to create a cat model. So it has a name, age, scale. Let's make this guy a number. Okay, cat schema. Okay, so in the routes we can require cat, the cat model. Okay, and then we can create a new cat. Okay. Okay, so this route will create the cat, and this one will get all the cats. So let's see. So now what I want to do is when I submit this form, it should create a new cat. So I want to use a so I want to add a click handler here. So this is what will get called when I submit this form. Oh, actually I want this to be on submit. So this is a keyword built into React. When I say on submit, when I submit this form, it's going to call this handler. We'll call this submit handler. And then we'll pass the event object. So normally when you submit a form, it will basically try to take you off the page, like either redirect you or take you to a new page. So I want to prevent that behavior. So here I call prevent default. Okay, and then what I want to do now is make an AJAX call to our route to create a new cat. So there's a couple ways to make an AJAX call. I'm going to use a library called isomorphic fetch. So I think this is a pretty good option because fetch will be fetch is basically a standard, like a built-in function. So in the newest version of Chrome, you can see that they've already implemented fetch. If you get this isomorphic fetch library, this fetch function will also work on the older browsers. Okay, so here I'm going to require fetch. Okay, And I want to do fetch to our route at cat. Was it cat or cats? Cat. Okay. Okay. And then let me look up the API for fetch. Okay, so here it tells you how to do a post. So basically, I kind of just want to copy this. So this should be cat. Okay, so this is the URL, and then I'm setting the method as post. These headers make it so that you can use JSON when you do your fetch. And then here, I want to send the body. The body is basically the value of this stuff. Let's see. Name is equal to name, age, scale. Okay, and then I don't really want to like manually get like the value of each of these inputs. So I'm gonna get another library called serialize form. Form serialize. So this is pretty nice. You can basically just pass it a form element, and then it'll just create an object for you. Okay. Oh, geez, that's not okay. Okay. That's what I want. Was it serialized form? Form serialize. Okay. So I can get the form through the event target. Let's see. Data is equal to, so event.target is going to be our form element because that's the thing that was being submitted. And then you can do serialize on this form element, and we need the hash true to make it a JavaScript object instead of this like URL param style. Okay. So now in here, in the body, I can send, I can set data here. And yeah, this should work. Okay. Well, okay. So let's check if some of this works. If I can create a new cat. Okay. I'll go to cat factory. I don't know. Garfield. Age. I don't know. Like 90 or something. Complaining. So let's see. So create the cat. Okay, so I think the reason it wasn't working is this is actually a capital S. Let's try that again. Okay, so we got a status 200 from this cat route. Let's go ahead and check in the database. This database goes to chat. Okay. Oh, so we didn't get some of these age. Okay, so that's probably why I shouldn't capitalize those. Okay, yeah, so the problem was that it only made the name, but it didn't get the age and the skill. So now that I've fixed the capitalization on those, this should probably work. Okay, let's go and try that. And okay, looks like that's working. So what I want to do now is when I create a new cat, I want to put it into the page. So how can I do that? Let's see. So this fetch method is returns a promise, and there is a response from this route. When you create a new cat, it sends you the new cat that you created. So you can basically receive the new cat here in the response to the AJAX call. So then so it's kind of strange, but this response is basically, before you can get the data, you have to call response.json, and that'll return another promise, and then you can access the data from there. Okay, and maybe we'll do that, see if that worked. Oops. Okay, I don't know, Tom, like 100, not catching Jerry. And okay, so we can see that we were able to access the newly created cat. And now what I want to do is put that guy onto the page. Right? So here, let's say okay, so I want this page to have an initial state, right? And it's just gonna be an object with a cat's property, and starts out as an empty array. Okay, and then let's see, underneath this form, I'm going to create a div. Well, maybe we'll call it like the cat container. And then I'm going to fill this part up with cats. Okay, so what I want to do is say this dot state dot cats dot map okay, and then I want to return, let's see, maybe we'll make it a yeah, we'll make it a unordered list, and then as a li with the cat dot So okay, so we're using JSX now. The JSX variables, if you want to evaluate them, you need to use these curly brace things. So I want to get the cat's what was it, name? So we'll say name, and then the cat's name. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the age and the skill. Okay, let's see if that worked. Okay, let's see. It's I don't know, cat 1. It's 6 sleeping. Oh, okay. But so we initially start with no cats, and then when this renders, it's just gonna be empty because there's no cats. So what we need to do is when we receive the cat, what we would like to do is this dot. Oh, okay. So here I don't want to lose the context, this context. I'll just say that is equal to this. Okay, so we'll say that dot set state, and then I want to set the state of cats to be that dot state dot cats dot concat cat. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is I want to take whatever is in here now and then add this new cat into it. Actually, okay. So let's go ahead and see if that worked. Cat 2 and eating. Okay. There we go. Okay. So what happened there? We created a new cat, and when the cat the newly created cat came back as a response, we called set state. What set state does is, okay, so we have this initial state. We modified it by saying, okay, take this array, and then basically sort of concatenate it or add this new cat that we made to the end of it. And then another thing that set state does is once you've altered the state, it will re-render the page. So it'll call this render function again, except this time this .state.cats will have changed. It will have changed from this empty object to an object which contains the newly created cat. So what we do is we iterate over the cats. For each cat, we return a React component that has the name and the age and the skill, and then so now after the re-render completes, we'll be able to see it on the page. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do is I want to also put all the existing cats onto the page when we first load the page. So generally, whenever you want to do something when the component is first created, you do a component did mount. And here what I want to do is fetch all the I want to hit the API route that we hit that we created before, the get route to get all the cats, and I want to put them onto the page by using a set state like we did with the newly created cat. So let's do a fetch. I want to go to /cat. Oh, these are options. So I don't think we actually need any options in this case. Okay, so we need to do a .json again, and then we should have gotten back a list of cats. Okay, so I'm going to do a var that is equal to this to maintain our context, since we'll be inside of a different function here. And then I'd like to do a that.setState like we did before. Let's see, so that.state.cats .concat cats. So here's kind of what's going on. We started with the empty array of cats. We made a GET request to get all the cats from our server. When the response comes back, we'll have the list of cats, and then we'll go ahead and put those cats into this array, and we'll have updated the state. And so part of what setState does is re-render the page. This time, this array will have more than one cat in it, and then it'll iterate over all the cats and create this component for each of the cats. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if that worked. Okay, looks like it didn't work. Let's see if we really got any cats back. Okay, so we did get the cats back. So, I see. So here we did the right thing. We need to set state on the cats property. Okay, and I think that'll work. Okay, so we've got our list of cats, and then when we add a new cat, cat3, jumping, oops, 10. So when we create a new cat, it gets added on to the end. Oh, okay, so we're also getting a warning that says that whenever you iterate in the React component, you want to use a key property. So that just means here, since we're iterating over all the cats, and then we're creating a new component for each cat, what we want to do is give this guy a key property, and then in the key it should be something unique to each cat. An easy one in our case would be the ID. Right, so that should take care of that warning. Okay, let me get rid of this console log, and I think that's it. So this video this basically explains how you can basically put data into the database and get data from the database and put it onto your web page using Ajax, and that's it.